Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest unboxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel, donations, and Venmo, and the Patreon family. We are working. Now, great fight card yesterday on Showtime. Shout out to the winners and also the competitors. I enjoyed myself. It was Erickson Lubin versus Charlo. Crazy outcome. Hurd versus Trout. And Adeslande versus Goucher. Now, in the building was a fighter who's fought on PBC and Showtime, Errol Spence Jr. He announced his next fight. He said he's fighting Lamont Peterson. I did a separate video about that. But I want to do a follow-up video. I think that's a good fight. I want to do a follow-up video to something else he said. While he was in New York, he touched on why, and he confirms that Miguel Cotto, Golden Boy, did offer him a fight. And it's just as I suspected. And I'm just going to paraphrase here. But Errol Spence basically said that the reason he turned down the offer was because he doesn't have a promoter right now and he don't want a promoter. He says he's making great money. He's doing his thing. He's trying to get the big fights. He's getting put in venues and on national televised programming. So he doesn't really see a reason to sign to Golden Boy. And it's very eerily similar to Mikey Garcia. Mike Garcia is a little bit different because he went through a hellish time for 2.5 years with Top Rank, so of course he's going to be timid. But it sounds like the same thing with Errol Spence. Errol Spence also revealed that he's working on his own promotional company, so he's got that cracking and he's trying to get that off the ground for 2018. So he just doesn't see a reason. And listen, I come from the school of like the golden years of hip hop and stuff, and these dudes, to me, some people, like, you got to understand the business. You got to understand the game. And there's a lot of fans who be like, oh, Errol Spence made a mistake. I don't believe that. I don't think he did. And the reason I brought up hip hop is because you have guys like Master P and, you know, Cash Money Records, just a lot of people who came out in the game and made a name for themselves selling out their trunk. You know what I mean? Even people like Big Sean, he was making some noise before he got signed in Detroit, and Ludacris in Atlanta. So if you could stay independent, you'll make more money. You know what I'm saying? And if things are going your way. Now, there's a case-by-case basis. People are already starting to get familiar with the Errol Spence brand, and he's now a champion. So he, in fact, doesn't need a promoter right now because, like, you gotta understand it. He's not saying I don't need a promoter and I'm gonna put my own fights together and I'm gonna be doing the training camp. I'm gonna be doing the nutrition and the eating side. Plus, I'm gonna be organizing the fucking fights. You know what I'm saying? So all these people, oh, he needs a promoter. No, he doesn't, because he hasn't had a promoter for the Kell Brook fight. But it doesn't work like that because there's still promoters like Eddie Hearn who's taking care of all the back end stuff to make sure the Kell Brook fight posters come out, to make sure there's advertisements, probably doing travel arrangements to get Errol Spence to the press conference in the UK, etc. So it's not like when these fighters are saying I don't need a promoter, they're not promoting themselves in terms of they're not the ones that are actually organizing the whole card. It's just they're not locked in and dedicated to one promoter. You get me? So like when let's say Leonard Bundu and Errol Spence fought, or Chris Algieri, I believe Lou DiBella was the promoter of those fights. So him and his team are handling credentials and organizing the event and the seating and all that. Errol Spence ain't having to worry about that. So a lot of y'all don't know shit about what you're talking about. Like, oh, Errol Spence needs a promoter. If he were to take the Cotto fight, like I said, they probably wanted him to sign to Golden Boy. And then he would be locked in to a contract. And I'm the same way. I don't like contracts. Like, if I could buy a cell phone outright or whatnot, instead of being in like a 2-3 year contract, then I would rather do that. Actually, I did do that with a particular device that I got. Like, you know what I mean? It was just better for me to buy it outright and not be under a contract. I don't like contracts if I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? And I think these fighters are actually getting smarter, and it's just what it is. You got to look at it too. Golden Boy, and this is no shade to them, this is my honest opinion, but I haven't seen them really put an African American fighter on the forefront where, like, damn, this African American fighter is getting all the exposure and he's getting a ton of praise. And you know what I'm saying? I never seen him put anyone. I can't think of it. I mean, you guys tell me who it is. You know what I mean? Because they have people, like, and they've had people in the past, and some have left, some are still there, and I just can't think of it. You know what I mean? I can't think of an African American fighter that they have on the panel that's as big as Canelo or as big as David Lemieux even. You know what I mean? You guys name it. You name the person. So you have to understand when you're making those decisions, certain promoters cater to certain markets more, and they probably put more energy. Like, I would say Golden Boy caters to the Latino market a lot more. Like, you look at Golden Boy, and this is just my opinion. You guys, again, if you could think, I could think of several Latino fighters on Golden Boy. Canelo, Jesus Soto Caras, Gabe Rosado, I think is might be with them. You know what I mean? Different people like that. Glenn Tapia, I think he's Rican or something, Dominican. So I could think of that. But when it comes to, and then they have like Joseph Jojo Diaz. Who else do they have? I'm trying to think of all the people right now. Diego's nephew, or De La Hoya's nephew, etc. Top Rank, I think they have a lot of Eastern European fighters that they cater to. Lomachenko, Vodzdik, and just different people like that. And I'm not saying their stables have nothing but that, but I'm just talking about their biggest stars, their biggest names, and things like that. So you got to look at that. So I don't think Errol Spence, in my opinion, made a bad decision. He's getting in where he fits in, and he's getting close to the fights he wants. He's gotten some of the fights that he wants, and there's really no reason to lock into a dedicated promoter. And again, you don't know, like I said, who is Golden Boy. Name an African American fighter that blew up that is signed with Golden Boy. Like, the way they're handling him, he's getting all the exposure in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Errol Spence is African American, and you have to make sure it's the right. If you're going to jump ship, you got to make sure it's the right. Also, you look at HBO. HBO is kind of sinking, to be honest. Like, they have some pay-per-views and maybe a couple more fights, but they're not doing as good as they were 4 years ago in the boxing game. So I don't blame it. You know what I mean? A lot of people trying to become spin doctors and say, oh, he's ducking Cotto. But it just, I told you guys, I knew there was a reason, and the logistics to me don't make sense. So you're a champion at 47, and you're going to do a Kell Brook and leave your belt behind, go fight Cotto at 154, a guy who's going to retire, and then be locked into a contract with another promoter when you're still getting fights, you're still being televised, you're still making good money right now with no promoter. You know what I'm saying? Handle this out your trunk. Just even like me with YouTube, I'm not signed to anybody, and I get email. I can show you guys, I get emails all the time from multi-channel networks and partners, and what they want to do is they say they can help and build the channel and different things like that. And I guarantee you, if you guys know how to research, most of your favorite boxing channels are partnered, most of them are partnered with multi-channel networks. But your boy Ego isn't. I do this from the ground up because I keep my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you partner with the channel, they want to take a cut for allegedly helping you. I don't need that. I don't need the help. You know what I'm saying? Unless they offer me something that was super crazy. But for somebody just taking 10, 20, 30% or whatever it is of my money, I'm not really with that. You know what I mean? And that's just how the game goes. So again, I've got to 100,000 with no help from any multi-channel network, from any partner or anybody else who's siphoning my money, you know what I'm saying, for my labor. And the thing is, you got to understand, I'm just dropping a gem right now. You got to understand the way the game is set up. When the channel was much smaller, I didn't get those emails. When I had 1,000 subscribers, I didn't get those emails. It's like, oh, hey, but when my channel started getting popping and the 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, and you know what I mean, I had a good following, all from hard work and great fans. Then all of a sudden, these emails start showing up and like, hey, we noticed you have a great channel, sign to our network. Nope. Because where were you when I needed? When I was at 1,000 subscribers, maybe I would have did it because I needed it at the time. You feel me? Like, because I was trying to grow my channel and it felt like it was taking forever to grow. But now that I've already climbed Mount Everest, now you want to offer me the water? I already got up here without the water. You know what I'm saying? I already got up here without the walking stick, without the cane. You didn't have any help for me back then when I needed it. So don't expect to try to help me now. And that's just how it is. So if you ever see me signed to a network, trust me, they must have broke off bread. It'll, like the Godfather, I make him a deal he can't refuse. So I don't blame Errol Spence. Do your thing, boy, and realistically stay independent as long as you can. You got a good trainer, Derek James. His fighter Charlo also just had a sensational knockout last night. Keep doing that and keep running that until the point where you need it. But these fighters are getting smarter, and good thing for Errol Spence is he was an amateur standout, went to represent us for the Olympics for the USA, and I'm sure he got around the game early, and he witnessed, I mean, he sparred the biggest business person boxing has ever seen, which is Floyd Mayweather. So just being around that energy and probably seeing the career and just knowing him on a first name basis and probably having his phone number and stuff, he got to see the business. So he see how Floyd did it and stuff like that. So he probably has a game plan for how he wants to approach his career and finagle. And Floyd's another example of it. You look at, I could go on all day about this, but I'll leave it at this. Floyd Mayweather's a prime example of it, because you look at Floyd's career, you look at Cotto's career, and you look at Manny Pacquiao's career. Them dudes arguably probably turned pro before Floyd, or around the same time at the very least. This is off the top of my head. And Cotto, he did start Cotto Promotions, but it wasn't like it was a big promotional company. You know what I'm saying? Name the fighters that Cotto has, right? And he was still working with Top Rank, then Rock Nation, then Golden Boy, right? Floyd didn't do that. Floyd had Al Heyman and Mayweather Promotions, and then they got it cracking, made everything happen, right? You look at Pacquiao, who never really opened his own promotional company to promote his own fights. He was always with Top Rank, or he had another promoter before that and stuff like that. And you got somebody in your pockets, and that's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you could stay independent as long as you can. You know what I mean? Especially when you can't tell me what you could provide. Like, what is Golden Boy? They have the racist emails and stuff. And like I said, name an African American fighter Golden Boy has that you felt they built him up and he got a ton of spotlight under their umbrella. You know what I mean? And if you can't show the proof and show me what you'll do for me, then I don't blame Errol Spence for not taking the Cotto fight. Just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.